Good afternoon. We're back for another family reunion, a Champions League preview special. In this segment, we're going to be covering the Champions League quarterfinal preview and Europa League select Europa League quarterfinal previews as well. So for this matchup tomorrow, PSG versus Bayern Munich. Uh, Bayern Munich is obviously without Lewandowski. Neymar is now fit. Guys, what does this mean for the draw itself? Who's your favorite, and how do you think that this tie is going to turn out? Bernard, let's start with you.
I think the injury to Lewandowski does changes things a whole lot. Before that, I probably would go with Bayern, but now that he's injured, PSG. A Neymar who is healthy and fit and had time to recover, and I am a big fan of Marco Verratti, so PSG for me. I have PSG probably going through over two legs.
Josh, how do you think that? PSG obviously they were in the finals last year. Very, very similar squad. Bayern are down Lewandowski, but they are a machine. I think Thomas Muller can fit into that false nine role, and they'll still hurt you with Sané and Serge Gnabry. How do you think that this tie is going to play out without Lewandowski?
What you just said, I think Muller falls in the false nine, and it's either Kingsley Coman, Gnabry, or Sané on the wings. I think goals aren't the problem. I think it's almost like missing your totem is the problem. Your safety blanket of when things aren't really coming off, you can always keep it in there to Lewandowski's head, and he's going to do something with it. I think this makes it a tighter match. I would have been a definite Bayern over two legs previous to the injury. Now I'm a little bit more skeptical of them being able to pull it off, but I'm still going to go with Bayern. I think Bayern's solid enough. I think is Verratti injured again? I think Verratti might have pulled up injured again. I'm not 100% certain, but I saw some reporting on that.
I'd probably take it. Injured. He's always injured.
Yeah.
Who?
Verratti.
Oh.
Yeah. So I like Bayern over two legs.
Nahom.
I think PSG history is history. PSG got to post one up on the board before I believe in games like this.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it definitely cripples Bayern. But if you look at, especially in Champions League, most of Lewandowski's goals, he's in the right position at the right time. So I feel like if you put Muller in that position, I think those opportunities would present themselves for him to get the same chances almost. I just like Bayern's balance. I feel like with Champions League, you have to be properly balanced. With PSG, I feel like sometimes they forget how to defend. Their middle, they do too much. They overcomplicate things in the middle. So it's just, if you're asking me again, I always go back to bet in my house. I can't bet against Bayern Munich with or without Lewandowski. Does it make it interesting? For sure. But I just feel like, the Bayern is getting healthy outside of Lua, and it's just hard to. They're just so well balanced, right back, left back, in the middle. You talk about Verratti, you got my German little boy. What's his name? What's his name? Be
Kimmich.
Yeah, the Kimmich and Goretzka pivot there, man, is just solid. They're best friends off the pitch too. Whew.
That's a good balance because you have a mixture of athletic ability and technical ability, right? In that middle, where PSG, you have Verratti, you have Paredes, and you have who else?
Ganagay.
But these guys aren't to me.
Andres Herrera.
Yes, but
listen.
Wait, Kevin. But wait, you see what Nahom is saying about those guys? What those guys are there for? Those guys are there to do the dirty work for the superstar.
They can't do the dirt. Those aren't dirty work players.
But listen,
guy.
PSG has a guy named Mbappe who is coming to take the mantle from everyone, who is about to be the superstar of world football, and this is his stage.
Yeah, this is it, right?
I have
right now. Last year.
I agree with B.
Yes,
I agree with B.
But now home, remember last year, it's a different Bayern without Lewandowski. The missing of Lewandowski, that sort of narrows that gap. And when you have, and remember, you still have Neymar there.
So B, this is my thing about Mbappe, right? When games are tight, right, and there's not a lot of space, just like the international games they just played, he struggles. Very much so. I think when he doesn't have the space behind the defenders and they're not pressing, he struggles. And I think he's 22, 21 years old.
But Bayern is going to press because Bayern is going to press up high.
It doesn't matter. That opportunity is not going to be there, just like it wasn't there in the final. Oh, that opportunity wasn't there in the final because of what? Lewandowski wasn't there? No. It's still the same core players within that 11 outside of Lua. With Mbappe, I don't think he's ready to grab that yet. I think he still needs now where it changes is the type of games that Neymar has. If Neymar does the little 50 yards from goal, little tiki-taka dribble, it's not going to suit them. I think Bayern are set up to take Mbappe out the game, to take Neymar out the game, and I don't think anybody else at PSG can get that goal. Nobody else. Not Di Maria, not any of those guys, unless it's a free kick from outside the 18. That's about it. Where Bayern, Gnabry, you got Coleman, who scored in the final last year. You got Sané. You have so many players that can give you the hard work defensively, but also can score goals. So it's thin. I'm not saying it's obvious, right? But it's like
for me,
yeah.
What I saw Mbappe do to Barcelona, and even if you go back and you watch the second leg where they played, he put the fear of God in those guys. Like anytime he picked the ball up, it was 2 or 3 guys rushing to him. And this is the second leg. When you add Neymar on the other side of the pitch, or if you play him in whatever position you play him, like I just don't like that dynamic of 2 world-class players attacking your center backs, and that has been Bayern's problem. And we know they don't have pace in the back.
Yeah.
So those.
Oh wait. Alphonso Davies and David Alaba, the 2 out of the 4.
Those guys. Alphonso Davies is a winger. I'm talking about their center backs. Their center backs pace has been a problem all season.
Where does Neymar and Mbappe play?
No, it depends.
It doesn't depend.
Because you have Akanji in the middle, right? And you have those 2 guys. There's never a time where he's across the middle.
But again, you go back and go. This is what I'm telling you. Go back and watch the Barcelona game. The way, I'm making my point. Let me finish. Right. So you go back and you watch the way that they attacked Barcelona. How many times did we see Mbappe end up isolated on Gerard Piqué? How many times? Gerard Piqué is a center back. They're gonna attack them. It's that same Pochettino system. I'm telling you now. You'll see. Okay, wait until he gets any one of those. Wait until Neymar or Mbappe get any one of those one center backs. You're either gonna start seeing red cards, or you're gonna start seeing them giving up PKs. I promise you. They're set up. I think the way that this draw is, you're gonna learn real early. It's gonna be one.
They're talking as if there wasn't a final 9 months ago when 2 of those players are non-existent. I have a demo. Neymar and Mbappe were Neymar played more of a role. Mbappe was non-existent in the final. That's because of Lewandowski. What I'm saying is the way that Bayern Munich are set up is not the way. They don't have Busquets in the middle or a De Jong who's not a 6 in the middle.
Bayern Munich teams change from year to year. Just because you were one way this year doesn't mean you're the same team the next year.
Thiago also.
Yeah, and again, it's a different group of players, a different style of play. And so if you've watched where Bayern has struggled this season in the games that they've lost, this sets up not very, very good for Bayern.
So before Lewandowski, you had PSG as favorites.
Not me.
No, I had before
the way
Lewandowski,
Kevin is talking,
and that's the problem.
The best team on this planet.
With Lewandowski as the 9, that guy will finish everything and anything. Without that center,
you're talking about a balance. You're talking about what you're talking about is the center backs.
Lewandowski needs a half chance to score, right? So the problem is when you have a player like that, you have to sit more deep. Those guys aren't good. Neymar and Mbappe.
Wait. That's false. PSG is not sitting deep against any team that played since Neymar has been there. We can go to the final today. That is not how the game went.
Okay. Well,
hold on. And then name me the back four of PSG.
Marquinhos.
That's it. Thank you very much. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, we'll see. Teams, I think Bayern Munich.
We will see.
Now, I understand your point. I get what you're saying. PSG
I don't need this philosophical. When they press here and
Bayern hasn't been as infallible as they were this season. This season as they were last season, and their flaws have been exposed. And I'm telling you, the flaws that they have play right into this PSG's
This is what Kevin is saying. To the wingbacks are going to have a decision to make. They're going to either continue like Alphonso Davies. They're going to either, if they continue attacking, that's going to isolate Neymar and Mbappe with the center backs. And that's what PSG really wants. Or if they say, you know what, we're going to be a little bit more conservative and they're going to help their center backs, which is going to affect Bayern offensively because their wing backs is not going to be attacking like how they're used to. So they're going to be in a catch-22 situation, right? But I'm telling you, Mbappe, if he get caught one-on-one with any of those center backs, it's going to be a problem.
That absolutely is going to be the problem. But my thinking is this. I think Bayern Munich, like they're German, they're going to be set up properly for these guys. And I think if we look at historically who's the biggest choke artist in Champions League, it's not Bayern. It's PSG.
History is history.
Yeah, but it's easy to say that when you have Lewandowski.
But that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about attack. We're talking about center backs being isolated.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
That's the balance that's winning KG over.
KG, that was an excellent argument. You've shaded me a little bit there. It's a smaller margin. I do think that if they push Alphonso Davies up as high as he wants to go, it'll be Mbappe on that right side, and it'll probably be Hummels right on the left. You're probably going to go Hummels it'll be Alaba on the left, and then Hummels will be off the right.
No, not Hummels. You're talking about Boateng.
Boateng's hurt. Boateng's out, right?
Yeah. Alaba is going to probably play center back.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It'll be Alaba left center back, and then Hummels on the right center back, or
Hummels is not there anymore.
Hummels not Hummels.
Dortmund.
Oh, Hummels went back to Dortmund. Yeah. But
we don't even know who the other. Who's the other center back?
He plays for Germany. He's a German international. I think it's Sula.
What's his name?
Sula.
Yeah, Nicholas Sula.
Also.
It's not Sula.
And you know, he's about 6'8",
also.
slow as fucking dirt.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That means absolutely nothing. Because when you have who's the fastest player in football? Don't worry. Who's the fastest player?
We gonna see.
Who's the fastest player?
We gonna see.
The only reason I still shade it for Bayern is because
KG. I can name you 4 of the backs, even 3. You can name me more than 1.
Listen, Marquinhos.
No, go ahead, name me.
It's the other French boy. I forget his name. Number 3.
It's Kimpembe.
Yeah, Kimpembe. Kimpembe is serviceable.
No, he's no good. Stop.
No good whatsoever.
We have to be fair. Kimpembe is no good. Like that.
And then you have what's the guy's name? The left back. He does his eyebrows. He shaves his eyebrows. I forgot his name. The French kid. I'm like, bro, they invest all their money going forward. Nothing in the back.
He's a Spice Girl.
The left back at PSG complained about not getting enough playing time and said, "I'm not coming to training." Like those guys, that's like Bayern Munich. You miss training, they send you to the B team. You have no time.
Yeah, so I was saying that I shaded still for Bayern, even though KG's argument opened up my eyes a little bit. I still shaded for Bayern because I trust Hansi Flick more than I trust Mauricio Pochettino in this matchup. To get it right, 2 legs.
Juan Bernat has been playing well as well, so I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's 2-2. Me and Kevin said PSG, and you and Nahom says Bayern. Is this fine?
Okay. So now we move on to the other ties. There's 3 English teams left in the draw. The draw is Chelsea, Porto, Man City, Dortmund, Liverpool, Real Madrid. Josh, who do you think of the English teams is in most danger of going out?
Oh, I think it's obviously Liverpool. To answer that question, considering the matchup, I think Chelsea's got the easy draw in Porto, and Man City, I think, is levels above Dortmund. So I think to answer your question, do I think we'll go out? I don't think so. I think we got every chance in the world to beat. It's injured FC against injured CF, and it's gonna be a last man standing freaking steel cage match, and with Ramos out and Courtois banging his shoulder up on international duty, he'll probably play, but he's still a banged up shoulder is a banged up shoulder. Yeah, I think we got every chance to go through. I like our chances to go through, actually. I like 3 English teams in the semifinals.
Okay. Bernard, what about you? Who do you think is the most likely of the English teams to make it to the final, and who do you think is? And remember, the semifinal is already predetermined, right? So who do you think is the most likely to make it to the final, and who do you think is most likely to go out?
To be honest, I have the 3 English teams in the semifinals also. Right? I think Liverpool gonna beat. I wouldn't say destroy Real Madrid, but I think they're gonna beat them comfortably. Right? Because I think Real Madrid is a different team without the Cristiano, especially in the Champions League. And I just think Liverpool's focus in the Champions League is gonna be completely different from their focus in the Premiership. Right? I think Chelsea. No, yeah. Let's stick on Liverpool. In terms of Chelsea, I think the Chelsea-Porto, I think that's going to be the tightest because both teams is going to be tight in terms of defensively. And I think Man City, Dortmund is going to be a goal fest. But Man City is just going to overpower them because they're going to outplay them. Dortmund is not going to be good enough defensively to stand up with them.
Nahom. So Chelsea obviously have Porto. And then from that draw, I believe we get the winner of Liverpool, Real Madrid, and then Man City, Dortmund, they get the winner of PSG, Bayern. At this point, you being a Chelsea fan, where do you put Chelsea's chances of making it to the final? And who do you think out of all of the English Premier League teams is the most likely to go out in this next fixture list or round of fixtures? Sorry.
I think if Chelsea go to the semifinal, I think we're going to get to the final. I honestly do. And Tuchel's got a great record in the Champions League. He was just in the Champions League final last year, so I feel like the pressure's not too big for him. So I think Liverpool or Real Madrid, I like our chances. I don't fear either one of those teams. I saw Sergio Ramos. I don't know why he went on international duty when he was coming off an injury, but he got hurt. So he's going to be out for the 2 legs, for the 2 Liverpool legs. So I know Mohamed Salah's happy because last time he broke his arm and took him out the game, and that's what won the game for them. So I think what was the second part of the question, KG? Which of the English
teams is the most likely to go out?
It's I don't foresee anybody. I don't think Real Madrid is consistent enough. Real Madrid right now is having like an Arsenal-like season. Like you don't know which Real Madrid is going to show up. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where I think the one most likely where an English team could get knocked out probably would be Liverpool based on form. But City sells guys to Dortmund. You know what I'm saying?
I'm surprised you guys, with Dortmund being, the having the type of players that they have, and No, the only team. Hear me out. The only team that has beaten City in the last.
AJ, you're on an anti-City.
Are you gonna let me finish? The only
So-
team that has beaten City in the last is Manchester United. So if you look at the players at Dortmund's disposal, I think that they can. Again,
The
But
two
Kevin,
teams
you have
wait,
when you have a player.
watch out for Leicester City and Dortmund. Two
No,
of the teams that are playing.
yeah, but Kevin, the comparison that you're making, Dortmund don't play the way Manchester United. Dortmund is a smaller version of City. They go and attack you. So they're not going to come and transform the way how they play. They're going to try to. Dortmund is not going to try to outpossess you. Dortmund is going to try to outscore you. That's how they play. They're not going to back.
Listen,
Dortmund
I don't think if Dortmund comes out and plays the way that they normally play, they're going to take 10. They're not going to take like 3 or 4. City are going to give those guys 10. So I don't, and that's where my mind is. So I don't think that we're going to see them sit up as they historically do, because any manager in world football who's watched those two teams play, if they set up in the manner that and their coach has already been assigned for next season, so their coach essentially has nothing to lose. So I don't think that he's going to put his team out there to take 10. I can't believe at that level you would be that naive to go and play in a way that's going to have your players exposed to that level. I can't.
But if you know you're not going to be there at the end of the season, why you as a coach, you're just going to say, you know what, I'm just going to play and use my philosophy. And their philosophy is not sitting back. Their philosophy is
it doesn't matter. It does whatever philosophy, however they play, it's not going to matter. Those guys are struggling in the league. They're not going to make Champions League next year. So throughout the season, I'm pretty sure they set up all types of ways. And if you're struggling in the Bundesliga, 2 legs versus City is going to be tough. Haaland walked off last game, didn't he? He took his jersey off, gave it to another guy, and walked off. Those guys have problems, man. They're not ready for a City. If the fluke might happen, I'm not saying it won't. They're still a big club, but at the same time, based on form, based on size of club,
I personally think that Dortmund they have the players to hurt City, right? And out of all of the teams in the matchups, in terms of what they provide in terms of going forward, they have enough to hurt. And to me, they're on par with PSG going forward. There's not.
Kevin, give us your pick. So you're picking Dortmund over City.
Hell no.
KD just being an excellent host. KD just being an excellent host.
No doubt.
No,
Right.
I'm not picking them.
Dortmund is Man City's JV squad, right?
My point was, if there is an upset, I think that out of all of the games, I think that is the most likely game where we're going to see a shocker.
I think there's only one other victory that would be an upset. I think Porto over Chelsea would be an upset. I don't think the other 2 matchups, if either team wins, I don't think it's necessarily an upset. I think they're evenly balanced. So I think that limits their chances or limits the opportunities for one.
Dortmund would definitely be an upset if Dortmund.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Dortmund over City and Porto over Chelsea, the only 2 that I would classify as upsets.
Yeah.
If either of the wins. I think Dortmund is like a City JV. I think Dortmund is so young, and where you can get a young team is mentally, right? If you make them defend for long periods of time, part of the mental transition is being able to do that and having the mental fortitude to still hold your concentration and your focus when you get the opportunity to attack, to take advantage of that situation. And oftentimes what you see is you expend all this energy defending, and then when it's your turn to go, you peter out quickly, or it's a heavy touch. And then you put your head down and you turn around and you walk backwards 40 yards to get back in your defensive position. I think if we see that, I saw a little bit of that from Dortmund in the Bundesliga lately. That game there where Haaland got pissy and rolled out. They were sitting.
They'll need a John Stones or a Kyle Walker debacle. John Stones got one of them in him.
He does.
So does Pep to overthink it.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah,
it's possible, but very, 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 very small.
Okay. So later in the week, we've got Europa League. we're going to focus on the two English teams, Man U versus Granada, whoever knows who that is, and Arsenal versus Slavia Prague. Bernard, you being an Arsenal fan, having watched Slavia Prague play in the last round, they've given a lot of teams trouble in this tournament so far. Their club is very, I'm just going to say it, they're racist. What do you think? Do you think they're going to give you guys any problems? And, what do you see being the likely outcome of this tie?
Well, I think on paper, Arsenal is a better team. So I'm just hoping the real Arsenal will stand up and come and perform. I think, and we have a favorable draw in terms of that and the semifinals. So it's all things are pointing to that Arsenal can change their season by performing well in Europe. So I'm just hoping that, we just make it happen. That's all I'm hoping. I'm just hoping that we just come through and I can put, as what Nahom would say, I can put my mortgage on it. I know that Arsenal come and, perform in the Europa.
For your hope, what do you think is going to happen, man? What's your brain telling you?
No, Arsenal, because on paper, Arsenal is a better team. But as what I said before, we cannot be trusted, right? Yeah. But on paper, Arsenal, I see Arsenal going through here and going through the semifinal because the draw is so good. I think Manchester United have a very difficult semifinal.
And they got Roma.
Right? They got either Roma or Ajax, which is two very good teams. So,
Josh, what about you?
I think it's 7-1 Arsenal over two legs, and I'd like to pass my time to Nahom, who seems to have some heat about this game he needs to bring forward.
I was going to say, was it Olympiacos last year? You guys crashed out of the 16. Arsenal has it in them, man. I wouldn't bet any money on it, but I truly hope that Arsenal wins because Slavia Prague has a racist guy on their team that that I heavily dislike. So there that goes.
Okay. Yeah. And Manchester United versus Granada, they're
gonna lose.
We're just. Ole's not in the semifinal yet. So how can he's not in the final. He's not in the semifinal. That's where he historically loses. You guys aren't.
Unai Emery, baby. They play Villarreal, right?
No. They're playing Granada.
They're playing Granada.
Granada.
Okay. Oh, Roma. Okay. Isn't Villarreal in it?
Yeah,
yes.
Villarreal. We're talking about
side of Arsenal. Yes.
I apologize. Granada has a very, very good player on their team. His name is I'm drawing blanks. Kennedy. He's a Chelsea loanee. You know what I'm saying? So anything is possible. But no, United are gonna wax those guys. Those Spanish teams can't keep up with the English teams, man. They have no athletic ability, bro.
Physically, they can't compete phically, and that's been the same thing in the Champions League too. If you go back and you watch, they're not physically up to the level of the Premier League. Well, guys, thank you for the Champions League preview, and we'll see you guys again on Thursday. Thanks for joining us for another family reunion.
Thanks, KB.